Welcome to the check-in. My name is Brianna.
And my name is Tondrea.
And we are your new favorite homegirls.
Checking in with each other and checking in with you.
Yes, so come on in, get comfortable, relax, and let's get into this conversation.
All right.
We're here.
We are here.
Another week, another episode. Welcome to the check-in.
Welcome to the check-in, guys.
Yes.
There's no video.
Yeah,
not this week. We're just gonna say it now.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a video.
Yeah.
It's just life happens. Things happen. But we're still here.
Exactly.
So
and
enjoy.
Y'all been listening to us.
Y'all been listening.
Right.
So it's like,
it's not gonna change.
Right. The vibe is still here.
Exactly.
Yeah, highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
Let's get into this thing.
Yes.
Why are you laughing? No, I can go.
Okay.
I don't have a low this week. I'm feeling pretty great about that I don't have a low. Because I feel like my low is the same thing as, I'll let you know, financial crisis. But my high is that a lot of great opportunities are coming up for me.
Yes.
And I am living the life that I want to live. And even though I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, everything has been coming together for me and it just keeps on flourishing.
Right.
And I'm just very excited for myself to see like how everything comes together, because just a whole bunch of abundance that's coming in. So I'm very much so in a high place, a humble but high place.
Yeah, that reminded me of the quote that says, "I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it."
Legit, when I quit that job, I was legit like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it. And when people are asking me, "How you doing now?" I'm great. I don't know how I'm here. It's not me. It's God. It's my ancestors, my highest self, it's my guides.
Excuse me, and that is how it works.
That's how it works, because if it was up to me, oh no. I am so grateful for my team. Yeah. You sis, what's up?
My lows. My hair is not done. I mean, my hair looks decent, and okay, that's kind of I'm telling myself, that's kind of part of the reason
why we don't have a video.
But, yeah, no, I just haven't really been feeling like my cutest self. So, that's probably my low, and it's the weekend, and I need to be cute for the weekend, and...
Because where you going?
I'm going to San Diego.
Oh, you are,
my friend's birthday. I'm glad I know how to do these twists myself, but it takes time.
It does.
And I feel like since I'm doing this length, it's been taking longer than it has. Like, I can't even time myself to beat my record.
Yeah.
So, and my high, it was a very light week for work, which was amazing working from home. Because I was basically doing my hair all day.
Imagine them being able to see you in them Zoom meetings and you're doing your hair.
Exactly. No, the other day I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, there's this thing where it says, I'm sitting up here looking crazy. I'm sitting up here looking crazy.
Yeah.
And I cannot do that at work. So I'm very blessed that it was a light week and I'm working from home. So praise the Lord. And yeah, okay, so our pay it forward.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You go first. Okay. Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So, my first pay it forward is for the Band of Vices, and I just discovered them on Instagram, and it's an art gallery. So their tagline is curating culture for a creative community, and it's in West Adams. And yeah, it's a bright pink building with art, and I love anything art. Love museums, the galleries, haven't been in one in a cool minute. So when I saw that and it's black owned.
Wait, where is this?
West Adams.
What?
I know, it's new. I think they just opened this year. So,
okay.
And they have like a show happening right now that ends, an exhibit that's up until the end of October. So I definitely want to go, but their
I wanna
hours are
go.
very limited. It's like 12 to 5 or something. But I'm going to make my way there for sure.
Yeah.
Self-care. And
No.
my second pay it forward is someone that I do know. So it is our sorority sister, Fatmata, and she has Melanated Designs, and it is handmade accessories and designs. And she does custom designs as well. I have a notebook that she's done, as well as a keychain, and it's all like resin art and stuff like that. So she's based off of all of her designs. Like she started with waist beads, I believe, right?
Yes.
And then just grew to just exploring all these different things. And I love how crafty she is, because I want to be that crafty, but then I'm like, I'll buy the things.
Yeah.
And then it sits there.
Yeah.
Like I tried to knit last year, because I was like,
you tried to knit last year?
I was like, oh, I remember how to knit from school. The yarn is still in a spool.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know you was.
Yeah, no, it didn't work out.
Okay.
I got a little bored and I got a little confused. So she has really dope things. She has coasters. She has resin dominoes. Like, yeah, it's just really cool. So if you like artsy craftsy kind of stuff and you typically go to Etsy or whatever, you can just go directly to her website or directly to her Instagram. So
It's black owned.
Black owned.
I mean, all of our stuff are black
things
owned.
are black
still,
owned, but
yeah.
my pay it forwards, Band Devices, and Art Gallery, and Melanated Designs.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have 2 pay it forwards this week. Look at me.
Hey now.
I have to like slowly put that wine down, because whew, the talking about being an adult and not being able to handle your wine anymore like I used to be, that's a whole different conversation. So my pay it forward, the first one is Nature's Organic Touch by a friend named Kayla. She's somebody who I met through this company, Young Living, and she's just a wonderful person, mother, and she has she's a womb and fertility guidance.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. She's a certified yoni steam practitioner, certified holistic fertility doula, and she's here to hold space for all wombs and tribes.
Oh, that's dope. Wait, you said she is a doula?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not there yet, but
no, not there yet. But one day, you know,
Yeah.
if that's the plan. She also has like yoni herbs, like steaming herbs and everything, and I've been wanting to get some. And she's just like just a fierce woman.
Yes.
And I just love that about her. And I haven't been able to like, you know, talk to her for a minute, but it's like I was like thinking about, I was like, oh, I want to get those herbs. And then I was like, oh, she's doing a whole bunch of stuff now, because at first I was like, okay, let me just talk to her about the herbs, but now I'm like, okay, look at you, sis. So I was like, let me shout her out. Yeah, so like, you know, if you want to get into yoni steamings, and if you want to like, you know, just get more in tune with your body and people who have yonis, if you want to get, you know, clear out the energy there, you know, a new moon just passed, but you know, like full moon, whatever your practice is, if you don't know anything about it and you want more information, definitely go there.
Yeah.
Nature's Organic Touch. And then my second one is my homegirl Chelsea.
Hey.
She has a candle company called Rooted Wicks. She has an Etsy. She makes candles. She gave me this candle that when you burn it, it turns into massage oil.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, that's so dope.
Yes, that's my baby. I love her so much.
Yes.
She's Gemini. You know, that's a girl. A great bar teacher as well. Anyways, but yeah, she has this company. I've been wanting to shout her out, but I haven't been able to find her page. And then I finally saw it, and I was like, yes, there you go. So, yeah, Rooted Wicks, and I'll link the Etsy link at the bottom, because it's like different. It doesn't have like the title on it, but I will link it. And yeah, go support their homemade. And I'm acting like you guys can see it, but it's like, I love what she does. She offers like soy wax, beeswax, and the beeswax is made for like, you know, and it has cocoa cream and it's made for like massage purposes, and she has a lot of different fragrances, and yeah, just go check her out. Yes. Now the topic. This week we're talking about being too damn creative.
Being too damn creative, the jack of all trades and the master of none, of what some would say. But
you know,
there's an extra tagline to that. What they don't include, yeah.
Because I used to, like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm a jack of all trades. And then somebody one day killed my dreams, like, but the master of none. And I was like, oh, hold on.
Exactly. But this says, so the complete saying is a jack of all trades, the master of none, but oftentimes better than the master of one.
There we go.
Hello.
There we go.
Oftentimes better than the master of one.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I tap into, we tap in to all the things. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, that we are two creative people.
Yes.
That are too
creative.
And it can be very stressful.
It.
How do you feel about your creativity?
I'm recovering, Plano. I will say I love that I am a creative person.
Uh-huh.
I get frustrated that I am a really creative person because I feel like my mind is like, oh, I'm interested in this. Okay, cool. I'm dabbling. I'm into it. And then I get an idea for something else. Go to there. Mm-hmm. Get into that. Create. Ooh, another idea. It's like, can you chill? Can you sit down and focus on this one creative thing? I know that you're into all these things. I know that you can do a lot of these things, but can we have a focus?
Right.
Can we put your creative energy source into this thing and finish it?
So you're saying you don't finish what you start? If you do these creative
when I do finish it, it takes longer than what I want it to be. Like, I think for me, I'm like, okay, if I'm starting, like, if I have a character, like for me, if I have a character and I'm like, ooh, I'm really into it, I'm like fleshing it out in my brain, or like maybe if I write it down, or like voice whatever, and then like I'm like really passionate about it, and then if I watch something, if I get another idea for a different character.
Oh, so this is for writing.
Oh yes, sorry.
Bree's a writer.
Okay, so let me just say, should we do that now? Just talk about what we do?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Brianna, hi. I'm a writer, a yoga instructor. I'm like, what am I? With writing, I write poetry and prose, fiction. I write, I went to school for screenwriting, so I do that. And then, what else do I do? I like to paint. I'm not a painter. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, no, but I like to paint. Mm-hmm. I'm a visualist. Mm-hmm. Like, I've dabbled into like writing songs.
Oh, dope.
I've also I love photography. I love, like even like getting into like graphic design. I know it's like a medium of art. It's like, that's the thing. Like, I'm into so many different creative modalities that writing, I guess, like on the creative way is like my biggest one. But even with writing, like, you know how some people are like, oh yeah, like I write for film. I like writing for TV, or I like writing nonfiction books, or I like writing comedy. Like, I love just to write. Yes. A lot of stuff. I love to create, and for me, it's more of like I have a lot of visions in my head that I need to get it out somehow, so I write it.
Yes. If
I can't write it, it's the frustration. But also with the creativity, I'm a yoga teacher, and that's another way for me to be really creative, because I, with music and movement, create sequences.
Yeah. Especially
when I do like yoga bar, like more like cardio fitness and everything, but it's like it's more of a theatrical experience. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a workout and everything, but it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna do some bicep curls and everything. It's like, it's really like, oh, what this song, what's the movement that I want to do, what's the experience I want to give. So it's like more of like I like to create experiences.
Yes.
I like to create content, and I also, I really love creating. I didn't realize I like to create experiences and also different ways. Like I want to also create spaces, physical spaces for people in my community and in my various communities. So that's the thing. Like I have a lot of goals and ambitions in creating. I want to create physically, create mentally. That's me. Hi, my name is Brianna, and I'm a creative. Hi, Brianna.
Hi, Brianna. I'm Tondrea. And the umbrella that I like to put it under is just a creative entrepreneur.
Ooh.
But yes. I heard someone say that, and I was like, yeah.
That's me too, then.
Let's just put it all under one umbrella, because I definitely see these things as business ventures, and not just strictly business, but creating. Like creating spaces, being very innovative, and just coming up with any and everything that feels good to me. I am a strong advocate of community, and so I like to create unorthodox kind of things around community. Not like nothing. If it was like yes, creating spaces, but creating different events, like in the most unorthodox ways. So like I've hosted done a community clothes swap, and that was so much fun to me. But there was so
a lot
much,
of fun.
So like creating spaces in unorthodox ways in cultivating that community. Like yes, we're swapping clothes, but this is also, we're bringing people together. People are learning like all types of different things. I design clothes. I design things on computers. I reconstruct clothes. I just like to design. So yes, I would not say I'm a writer. At one point I did.
Hold on, pause. We're not going to do that.
I wouldn't say I'm a writer.
Why would you not say you're a writer?
I don't know. It just...
imposter syndrome. We don't do that.
I dabble into writing.
You write.
I write.
So you are a writer.
Okay. So... Bree's yelling at me, and now I'm feeling pressured. So I've done that. And what other creative things do I do at the moment? For the most part, my biggest focuses are design and community, and then we're cultivating community through this podcast. And
we have a whole last podcast.
Like I definitely, some people would categorize it as like the entertainment industry. That's not what I envision.
But that's still in a creative industry.
Yeah, dope. But my thing is like, okay, we're cultivating community. If I was thinking entertainment, it's like, I used to act. That's entertainment for
that's
me.
True. I get
so
you.
I haven't dabbled into acting since college, but since high school actually. But so I would just put it all under the umbrella of creative entrepreneur, and I like to create things that are I like to solve problems. Like when I think of it from the UX UI experience that I have, it's all about solving problems. And when I think about just everything that I want to do, I'm like, how can I solve that problem in the most innovative way? In a fun way, in an enjoyable way, in an aesthetically pleasing way. And so...
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing with being a creative. I feel like there's so many things you can tap into.
Yes.
And I get overwhelmed.
Yes.
With trying to figure out what I want to do, or like knowing like, okay, if I see another creative and being like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like,
right. No, that question actually
it stresses me out, because I'm like, oh would you go to school for? I went to school for screenwriting. Oh, okay, but also I write this. Oh, okay, I wrote a book. Okay, you wrote a book about this. Okay, but what else do you do? I do all these different things. Hi.
And then people are just like, okay. But even that question in general, I feel like that's a big, like, LA question. What do you do? Like,
I'm going to start saying I'm a creative entrepreneur.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to take that. But being a creative entrepreneur has so much power to it. And it does hold space for the fact that you create things in a business manner as well, because I feel like for me, yes, I love to write, but creating spaces, it's like being the physical aspect of it, or like, even though I haven't been able to, because finances is the way the world is, but even though the big way that I want to create spaces, I've definitely throughout my life have always different ways made creative spaces and created spaces for different communities or focuses in communities that I'm in. So that feels good as well.
Yes.
Yeah, creative entrepreneur. I like that, man. That's a heavy sigh.
Because I'm just thinking about all of being extra creative. And like how I mentioned on the 20-somethings episode of it feeling like directionless, only because it's just you have all of these ideas in your mind, and then you jump from one, and then you jump to the next, and you jump to the next. But then there's other people that are like dead set on one thing that they want to do with their life. And it's like, I'm still dead set on this.
Right.
It's just, I want to bring life to something else. Like, and even for me, it's like fashion has always been something that I've been passionate about since I was young. But when I think about me in my young age then, like, I was dead set on being an actress. Like, and then dead set on being a fashion designer. Like, and dead set on being a teacher. Like, like, I wanted to be, that was what I initially wanted to be. When I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a teacher. And I have always had this, like, creative mind so young. Yeah. And just doing the most random things. Like, I'm just thinking about my childhood and creativity only because, like, I was doing the most.
Right, and now you saying that, I was having a conversation with my mom, and then I was, I think I might have told you about this, but I was just like, how was I as a kid? Like, were there things? Because I was trying to figure out, like, what career-wise, maybe something that I'm naturally good at that I don't realize that I'm good at. And I asked her, and I was like, what did I do as a kid? Or is there something I did as a kid that I was, like, naturally good at and I love to do so much? And she was like, you really love to dress up as these different characters and pretend to be these characters, like, full out. And I was like, so I was an actor, Mom? I was acting.
And what'd you do with that?
And I was like, but I never knew that. Right. I never knew that. But, like, when I was a kid, she said, like, I would, like, Little Mermaid or whatever, like, it wasn't just like, oh, like, haha, Little Mermaid. She said that I would take a towel or whatever and make it look like I had a mermaid's tail. I would walk around with the little bralette thingies we had. I would put a towel over my head to make it look like I have long hair, and I would walk around and be like, my name's Ariel, and talk like Ariel, and, like, it was a whole thing. Like, method actor, that was me. But I never knew that. But as a kid, I would do that. I know for the longest time that I wanted to be a photographer. I was like, I'm gonna be a photographer when I get older. Like, because also when I was younger, I went to the school. This summer school is called Elementary Institute of Science, and they had photography classes there. So did that. Had a crush on my teacher. She was French, but, like, she was so cool, and, like, learning about photography in the darkroom, I was able to do, and I loved it so much. And I always loved taking pictures of nature and, like, people, like, not of myself really, but, like, with other things. I really loved it, and it was something that, like, it was like nobody was like, oh, you're so good. Nobody said I was bad. Like, people were like, oh yeah, you're good at, but it was something I felt like I was good at. Right. Like, I always just felt like I was good at that. When I was younger. Right. And I still do when I take pictures and everything. I'm like, oh, like, I'm good. I don't know. Imposter syndrome. Well, I don't tap in and, like, continue to do it. But there's a lot of times now when people are, like, talking about, like, oh, I want to take photos, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I should try to take photos for them. Right. Like, get back into it. But for some reason, I think, like, oh, I haven't been doing it long enough to be like, oh yeah, I also do photos. It's like, in this day and age, what kind of camera do you have? Oh, okay. I don't have the camera with the extra lens, and I don't have the backpack, and I don't have this one, and then this lens, and you have, no, I don't even have that language and everything. I can take some dope photos from my iPhone or the camera that I have, but, so it's like stuff like that. But I used to want to be a photographer for the longest time. There was a time where I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I had a whole sketchbook, and I wanted to be a fashion designer, and that's where I got my, I also have an apothecary line. I forget that now.
Pay it forward to yourself.
For real, I need to get the finance to get back on that. But I love creating tinctures and I was about to say potions, but like herbal medicine. I love creating herbal medicine, and that's something I'm really good at naturally, and I tap into naturally, creating herbal medicine. But when I was younger as well, I was like into that stuff, and what else did I love to do so much. I wanted to be a writer. Me and my friend, like we did before fan fiction, like we were in 4th grade, before fan fiction was a thing. There was this like comic book called Witch. I don't know if you ever read. It became like a TV show later on, but it was for the initials were each of like WITCH were each girl's names, and they got these superpowers that came together. Anyways, we made our version of it pretending to be their little sisters, and we had our own series, and we were so into that. Like it was such a fun thing. So like I always was tapping into all these different creative, right?
Childhood and creativity is just so dope because it's like your imagination is endless. Like I made up a TV network.
You did?
Girl, that was when Cheetah Girls was a thing, and it was called Angel Networks.
Angel Networks? No, please talk about this. Go into this.
It was called Angel Networks, and I only had like one neighbor. Well, our neighbor, she had like 3 daughters, and I was like, okay, we're the Cheetah Girls. Episode is on, and we just went full out. I had the cheetah skirt. Everything. Me and my brother, we would do things together. He went on to go the acting route, but we were just so extra. Like if there was music that came on, like me and him were doing like duets to Chris Brown this Christmas. Like we're just doing the most. And when I was wanting to be a teacher, I would be like, hey siblings, all right, y'all bored? Okay, we're gonna have class today and I'm gonna teach. And I convinced my church that I can teach the children at church. And I was the teacher.
You were the teacher?
Yeah, for a few seconds. So, so there was that. It's just interesting, like, me just doing different art drawings. I was in band. Like, I was just, like, this very, like, okay, it doesn't stop here. I want to do this. I want to do it all. Like,
yes. And that's energy is still here now. I do sit back and think like I know the difference of energy when I was a kid, like how I was so empowered to be like, oh yeah, like I want to do this, I'm gonna do it. It's creative, not knowing it was creative, but like I'm gonna do it. And just like having that vision and that imagination to go in, and I'm like, dang, like where did that go? Because I need it now. Because I'm still the same person. I'm still doing all these different things and like wanting to tap into here, wanting to tap into there, having this like playing house, not playing house, but like being like, ooh, graphic design. Oh, I like that. I want to do this. I can imagine me. Da 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 da. I still do all of that. It's just the creativity and the confidence to just be like, this is what I'm doing, Mom and Dad.
I think But that's why I said it's very interesting as a kid because it's just limitless. You're not worried about any bills. You're not worried about relationships. You're not worried about anything. You're just you and your full self. Like kids are so I can't even think of the word, but I can't even think of the word. But when now you're saying it's like, oh, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you're thinking realistically, like there's stipulations. Like you're not thinking that the world is limitless because, okay, well, what if I do that? But I might fail. Like, but I might, like, there might be something behind it as
consequences or something to it.
Going in that route. And I think that might be something for me that would stop my creativity or owning it.
Same. Because even the photography, like, I feel like something like I don't know, like I would have to have a portfolio. I have to show and prove this, or like if I don't do a good job, like should people even be paying me? Like all that stuff is like, even getting paid for your work and everything. Like that's the whole. We didn't worry about getting paid when we were younger. Now it's like no, you need to get paid for your work and you need to show and prove that you can do these things. It's not just having fun no more. Nah, like you have to get paid even for writing. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do writing as a career. Before it was just like I just wrote because I had this character in my head and it was stuck in my head and I just wanted, it was a way for me to get it out of my mind. Now it's like when I think about that, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get it out of my mind and then maybe I could sell this and that. that's like,
right. And you don't have to monetize everything.
No,
but I think that's the way society has like shaped us, that, oh, I'm really good at this, let me find a way to monetize off of it.
Right.
Let me dabble into every single creative venture. So yeah, because I don't think I initially was like, oh, I'm gonna make all this money off of it. No, I think I was just like, I'm having a good time.
Exactly.
So
dang.
Yeah.
So okay, I did want to ask,
Yes.
when did you claim being a creative?
Claim being a creative?
Like, okay, first, did you always know that you were creative? And then when did you start claiming, like, I'm a creative?
I feel like I've always known. I don't think I knew the language, really. I want to say, maybe not always. Like, when I wanted to be a teacher, I didn't look at it as creativity.
Okay.
And like when I was doing this, like as a child, just going into all these organizations and putting out my ideas, I didn't feel I was being creative. I just felt like I'm just doing what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But I think when I started designing clothes, and I was around like 6th or 7th grade, I wanted to go the creative route. Acting, I was acting since like kindergarten and still didn't think that was like creative. Like I just was doing what I was doing. And I want to say I probably owned it coming to LA.
Okay.
And like going to Cal State LA. And yes, I went and got my major in fashion design. I still was doing so many different things. Like in Zeta, them having me be in charge of social media and graphics. I didn't expect to do that.
Right.
But I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then taking a computer class and actually refining those skills. And then taking the computer class around fashion design and computers. Like, computer aided design specifically. But yeah, I think I was like, okay, I actually do like doing multiple things, and then following people when Instagram started being a thing, and people are like, yeah, I'm a creative this, and going to art galleries just because, and going to museums, and I'm like, why are you trying to rush out of this museum? We've been here for 10 minutes. I'm trying to be here for a while.
Yes.
So I think, like coming to LA, going through like the curriculum and dabbling in different things, that's when the terminology was like, oh no, I am a creative. And with my fashion designs, there was always a concept behind it. It was never just, I'm going to design this shirt because it's on trend. It was always this line. Like my senior collection was a story about me. Like it was
such a dope.
Like it was called A Narrative of Self on Colorism and my experience with that. So like my fashion designs have never been, I'm just designing what everybody is putting out there.
Yeah, I know.
So I think learning the terminology really came like in the adulthood, but I feel like I always knew. Kinda. Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I feel like you said, I didn't have the terminology, but I always knew I liked doing creative things. Like I knew, like it was never like I always knew, like, okay, math, science, no,
right,
but the art stuff, yeah. And even if I wasn't great at it, I always was like, oh, I want to do this stuff instead of that.
True.
When it came to like, even like social studies, even I was like anything that was like language arts, something arts, I was like, I'm better at this than math and science.
Right.
So that's something I knew as a kid, but I still wasn't like, oh, I'm a creative. Like it wasn't that. I just knew like anything had to do with the arts, that's where I was stronger at.
Right.
When you used to take those tests, and it was like I was always better at the art stuff. Art, history, everything like that, like had to do with the more creative mind, or was that right brain stuff?
Yes, you're right brain.
I was better at that. So I always knew that, but I didn't say myself as a creative. In high school, I started tapping into being part of ARSO, which is it's kind of like the BSU, but for our high school.
Okay.
That we created.
Yeah, that's like ASB. I was in like Associated Student Body.
It was the African Revolution Student
girl,
Organization.
I'm all off.
And then I was also in Mecha, and I was like I was in the woman empowerment group, and so like I was always trying to create ideas and spaces and events for certain, like, for groups of people and everything, and holding space and everything. But again, didn't see myself as creative. I knew I was different. I didn't see myself as a creative. I knew that I was in classes when I was supposed to be paying attention, and all I wanted to do was write this character, write this story.
Right.
And I didn't see myself as a writer. I was just like, it was just on my brain. I couldn't help myself, and this is what I like to do on the meantime. I like to do this stuff, but I didn't show it to other people because it was like very precious to me.
Right.
And I know that there was a time where I did see myself, going back real quick, did see myself as a creative, but that got shot down. So when I wanted to go to middle school, the middle school I wanted to go to was CMPA.
Oh, I know what you're talking
CPMA.
about. Because
Yes.
I was like, why did I not go to art school?
I wanted to go there so bad. The Creative Performance Media
I
Art
learned
School.
late, yeah.
I wanted to go. A friend of mine, she wanted to go, and she was gonna audition. I don't know if she did or not. And I was going to, and I remember, I just remember being hinted like, what is your audition gonna be? And I couldn't figure it out. So I felt like I wasn't creative, or I wasn't worth going to that school because I couldn't figure out what it was. I was playing the violin at that time, but I didn't think I wasn't playing it for enough. I wasn't strong enough as a player, I guess, or maybe because I don't know. I just was nervous.
I didn't know you did the violin.
Oh yeah, I played violin since I was from like 4th grade to 9th grade.
Oh
yeah.
Okay,
so I played the violin. I was in choir, but I was playing violin, so I was gonna do that. But I was like, maybe I'm not good enough for that. I didn't think you could audition for writing, so I was just like, whatever. So, so that stopped there. So I stopped the whole creative dream. And then even when I got to college, it was like, you remember that was a lot for me to declare not being a business major to being a writer major. Yeah, no. Thank you, Tandrea. Thank you so much.
You're a what major and you don't want to be? No.
I remember those talks. There were so many nights where I was just like, I don't want to do this. I want to do this, but I don't know if it wasn't realistic, and that was hard. Yeah. That was so hard for me to be like, finally come out of my own creative closet and be like, no, I like writing. I want to be a writer, but I don't know what I want to do. So, so I think college is when I really was like, no, the evidence has been there for all these years.
Right.
With a lot of things in my life. The evidence has been there for a lot of these years. Oh my gosh. That I had to call it. So, yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
It's, it's cool that, like, we are creative, especially being in LA. Mm-hmm. Being around a whole bunch of different creatives, it is like empowering.
It is very much
intimidating, but very much so empowering to be like, oh, okay. Like, I feel like if I wasn't in LA, I probably still wouldn't have claimed being a creative like that. Maybe that's just me. Or if I would have went to Atlanta like I wanted to, I would have, because
I don't know where my direction in my creativity would have been if I did go to Atlanta, because I wanted to go there, but I don't know where it would have took me.
Yeah. I was tapping into the fashion and everything in my head, because like that's when like the Housewives of Atlanta came up and they were all doing that, and I was like, ooh, I was a different person back then.
Right.
I'm so glad I didn't go, because me, like that, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like no, but LA being out here for sure. You see so many different people doing their own thing, and it made me think of when you were like, two things. You were like, I was doing photography and nobody really told me if I was good or not, but I just kept doing it. Like, that's very powerful. Because just thinking about that as a creative person, like, some people are looking for validation,
Yeah.
And if you are a creative person, a lot of things you're doing, you might seek validation in some instances, but some of them you might just be so set on yourself that it's like, I'm good at this, and you just keep doing it. Like,
I wish I would have kept that. But yeah, no,
like,
I get you though.
Yeah, like, that's just very powerful. That's like, oh yeah, nobody told me if I was good, but I thought I was good.
Right.
Like me, I'm as like thinking about just my childhood up to now, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling me like, oh my gosh, you're Mozart.
No, right, yeah.
You're Picasso. No, but I enjoy this and I think I'm
good at it.
good,
yeah.
So I'm gonna keep doing it. Shoot, there was another thing that you said. In my head, I forgot.
Can I bring up something while you think?
Yeah.
You know, another thing that really solidified me being like, I'm a creative, I'm living this life. And I remember I brought it up, and I don't think you remember this conversation still, but we were driving in LA somewhere. It was like maybe our freshman year, and we were having a conversation, and I was like, I know I'm meant for so much more in this world than this regular life. I was like, I want to create my own life and my own business and whatever it is. I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Right.
This was before like even being like, oh, I want to be a screenwriter, whatever. Like, it was like freshman year, but I knew that I was like, I want to create a certain life for myself that was whatever I wanted to do and just make it a passion-filled life. And I said that like we were talking about it, and we were both like, yeah, like we don't want to do like the regular, like
we were probably
be a
on
doctor.
Our way to JCPenney.
Yeah, we were probably on our way to a job that we hated. But we just were so aware in that moment of like, we were meant for so much more, so much bigger than who we are, what we, what we're limited to.
Right.
And that's when I was like, this is, I'm not just no average. I mean, okay, no shade on people who like 9 to 5 stuff. You do what you want to do, whatever. I just know for me, the creative life, creating the life that I want to live, like just legit being a creative in life in general and doing whatever I want to do, if that's going to be author or whatever. From then, like, that was important for me. And I always remember that conversation.
Yes. No, I mean, even, like, with the 9 to 5, still tap into the creative vendors.
Yeah.
Because, still tap into them completely. Me, I wanted to create the life that I wanted for sure. But I still don't know what that looks like.
It's coming together.
It's scary. It's for sure coming together. But I guess it's just like... We're not going to go into the trajectories. But
right.
Yeah.
Did you remember?
What?
What you were going to say?
No.
Damn.
It's okay. It's okay. We can move right along.
Okay. Do you have a question for me? I know you were looking at, have some questions that you...
No. I feel like we really touched on all of this for the most part.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm just like allowing ourselves to just be creatives and not try to focus on having like a title, like, yes, creative entrepreneur,
right,
but like being okay with the fact that we are that damn creative.
Yes. Okay, so another book reference. So I'm rereading Show Your Work, and that's that one right there, by Austin Kleon, and he has Steal Like an Artist and Show Your Work. So they're like, I want to say Steal Like an Artist came out first, and I heard him on a podcast as well. And the way that he advocates for creativity, like, he really does just say, just be, like, just explore whatever you want to explore, put out the work that you, like, do something every single day, and, like, just put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
ooh, and don't, put it out there. I was with it. I heard that part.
Yes. And it's a really, really good book. There was something from a chapter that I just read, but I can't remember exactly. But it's like, with Showing Your Work, he puts it in just a different perspective of whatever you're doing. Just having that progress being shown, because you're still fulfilling those like creative desires rather than like you're saving them for you.
Why?
Like, we're shrinking to an extent.
Yes, exactly. Also, just I feel like to really come into a place of like, okay, yeah, we're aware that like we are really creative people and that like we want to do so many things, and we're probably going to figure out more things that we want to do.
And put our hand in all of them. And that it's okay to do so. Like, nobody said you have to be one thing. That tweet you were talking about. Oh yes.
You don't have like putting your hands into all the
Yes,
different pots or
like
whatever, like
when
whatever.
there's so many different. There was, I can't find the tweet, but there was a tweet that says something about what if you are interested in all of these things and you just put your hand in each and everything. Like, don't box yourself in
Right.
at all.
Right.
And like, I think there was a quote from Issa too, or something, like where she was in an interview of like she just had all these different interests and it was getting to her, but look at her now, like she's doing so many different things.
Right. So many different things.
And then you said something about things or many different titles or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Childish Gambino. Like, if you Google Childish Gambino,
right, he has so many different titles.
He has so many different titles of who he is. And there was a point in time where I would get super hesitant when I was switching my path of, okay, yes, acting was so much fun, but I'm going to go the fashion design route because I don't want to be looked at as an actor that did a fashion line and the fashion line doesn't succeed. Like, I want to succeed in everything.
Every single
thing. But then now that I'm thinking of the day and age that we're in now, you can put your hand in everything, and I can say, oh, I'm a fashion designer. I also wrote that book. I also hosted that event. I also opened up that business. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, and they can all succeed.
Right.
And being too dang creative, I feel like stresses some people out.
Right, it stresses me out.
It stresses me out. But I'm more fulfilled, if anything, than sticking to one thing.
Exactly.
Because I do not like mundane and I do not like routine, and I get bored very easily.
Like routine, but like I like. I mean, yeah,
like in that sense. Like, there's certain routines that are cool, but for the most part, if it's a very mundane, like you need to like. There's some people, especially in the creative world, that are like, you need to put in your 10,000 hours. Okay, you're saying I need to put in 10,000 hours to become an expert at something, which brings us to the jack of all trades, master of none. So then I'm over here feeling different insecurities because, I haven't put in 10,000 hours in design. I haven't put in 10,000 hours, like you said, photography and all this other stuff. That doesn't mean that you're not good at it. Like, right. So you're telling me I need to put in 10,000 hours on this one set thing, and what if that does not work out, and what if I end up not liking it?
Right.
So why not be very creative
and dabble in different things
and put my hands in everything?
Right, and just try, because even like
just try.
My
like nothing beats a failure but to try.
Right, and you never know until you try.
You never know.
I feel like failure is when you don't try.
Exactly. So like my parents always told me nothing beats a failure but to try. And when I had to sit on that, nothing beats a failure but to try. Like you failed when you didn't.
When you didn't, because you didn't try it. Yeah. And that's like one of my favorite singers, Tash Sultana, like will say like, just try anything, like play pick up an instrument, try to learn a new instrument,
a new language,
anything. And I feel like during like, I'm not going to tangent about this, but like during COVID, when people are like, if you're not, I don't agree with this, but if you're not, trying or learning new things, you're not da-da-da. No. But also I did like the idea of this is a time where you're by yourself or where you're like, you have nothing else to do. Tap in.
COVID had my creative juices going wild.
Going wild. But I love it so much. Like, and I was like, I really like was enjoying, like I felt like, those, I really want to go on a writer's retreat one day. But I felt like I created my own creative retreat where I was able to tap in and do whatever I wanted to and have fun with it, and like did so much. Like I was making yoga videos, I was making more like apothecary products, I was like dancing a lot, like I was doing so much creatively and living my best life, which really like catalyzed where I'm at now, where I'm like, I really like that person I was in that energy. I want to be that, and I want to fulfill that so bad, because little me is like, she was always creative. What you doing?
Yes.
Like,
COVID definitely helped, for sure. And it brings us where we are now. Like, me currently 9 to 5, which is very strategic, by the way. This is not my end all be all.
I mean, but it be like that sometimes.
It does, but for me, I don't want this. I do want more freedom, specifically in the creative realm. So, but if I think about me 9 to 5 pre-COVID, I wasn't doing a whole bunch of creative stuff outside of it. Like I wasn't making time to feel those creative juices. we're doing this podcast. I'm making sure that I'm designing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
I'm
still writing, reading. Like, my reading expanded.
I wrote a whole damn book.
Hello.
Yeah,
she wrote a whole book, y'all. Look at us being too damn creative, and the too damn creative actually came into fruition.
Right.
It's not like being creative is dreams.
Yeah, no.
It's things that, it's like, okay, yes, we are dreaming, but putting
it into reality.
Bringing it into reality.
For real. Like, I have a lot of visions that come to my head, and I'm like, now I just have to be more of like, I have this vision I know is going to happen here. We just going to have to, like, we're going to do little things to get there instead of trying to make that vision happen now. I'm feeling defeated when it didn't happen. It didn't come all the way and everything. But, like, I just know, like, the life, I don't know. I was thinking of a pirate's life for me in my head, but the creative life for me is what it is for me. And I'm just going to continue to be that creative. And I'm about to, like, people gonna hear my name. They're gonna know who I am for the best reasons.
Your names are already in rooms that you have not walked in.
Oh, yes.
So
say that again.
Your names are already being spoken in rooms that you have not walked in.
For real. And I claim that
wholeheartedly.
And for all the creatives who feel like they're flustered, don't know what to do, continue to do the things that you're doing.
Yep, we're right in the hot tips. Segue that real smooth. I like
real,
that.
You know, and just like don't stop. Like, continue to create. If even when you're feeling insecure, when you're having imposter syndrome, we're gonna talk about that another time. But when you're having imposter syndrome, like, know that, like, we need you.
Yeah.
The world needs you. And just because you think somebody else did it, there's somebody else did it and they're still successful.
Yes.
Do it. Please do it.
Yes, the whole we need you. Just think about when people try to shun artists, those are the same people that enjoy going to the movies. Those are the same people that enjoy reading books. Those are the same people that are enjoying all of these things that creatives are putting out into the world and being vulnerable or transparent and showing a side of them that has to do with them. That's something that's very major. It's like, with creativity, it's not just, I'm banking on all of these set hours and these skills that I'm going to put into this corporate job. You're literally banking on you.
You're banking on you and showing yourself.
Showing yourself. So continue to do that. And even if you're not getting, like, the applause and attention from one set crowd, whether that be on your social media, your family, or your friends, you will find your tribe.
Right. And they're searching for you.
They're looking for you. So put it out everywhere. Make a different account. Put it on different social media platforms. Do research. Like, go to different events. Talk to people.
Right.
Like,
immerse yourself
in the world, and then you will see all of the people that you need to be around, that you will be around. Like, especially immersing yourself around the world. If you're in the wrong environment, you're never going to attract that creative, like, abundance that you're looking for. Like,
call in your community. Legit think about the people you want to be around and be like, I want these type of people to come into my life. These creative people who are going to support me, who are going to see me, who are going to uplift me. We're going to have, whatever you need for you, call it in, claim it, and those people will show up.
Exactly. Like, there's Facebook groups.
Yes.
There's Instagram. There's
like
Twitter. Like, Twitter is starting, I think, a group thing. Like,
I
forgot what they're starting. But there's different websites like Meetup. There's a whole bunch of different things. Or create it yourself. Put it out there. Like I said, call in this community. Create the community and just show up and be like, this is what I love to do, and you're standing in it. And even for especially for the people who feel like they don't know where their focus is creatively, I promise you, even the people who say they feel like they got it together, they don't know what they're doing either. And living the creative life is a stressful one. Yes.
But you will find your tribe. What's that?
Yeah, because I didn't want to interrupt you,
no,
so I had to hold my tongue.
Yeah, hold it.
Even the people that feel like they got it all together. Were you talking about creatives, or you were just talking about in general?
I was talking about creatives, but in general.
Okay. Crazy. Okay, well, yes, creatives might not have it all together, and, I'll get to that in a second. For the regular people that are not doing creative things, some of those people might not be enjoying what they are doing. Right. So if you're comparing yourself or you're nervous about going on a creative route or exploring that creativity, what are you actually worried about? Like, in that sense, like, some of these people might be going in these safe routes.
Yeah.
And not enjoying the safe route that they're taking.
Yeah. And
now, to the point about creatives, like I said, I convinced Bree to change her major because I was like, I am not on my watch. I convinced another friend of mine to change her major. Mm-hmm. Do you remember?
Yes.
She was doing something. It might have been business, and she's like, I love pets and I love art.
And it's like, why are you doing business?
And then switched it.
Yes.
And was
very
it's like,
happy.
So for me, it's like, if there's this urge, I want everybody to be great and I want everybody to win. If you have the urge, don't fight that creative urge.
Right.
Like, explore it to
the
fullest degree. And if your parents, like, there's some college students, like, I don't know if we have college students listening, but your parents want that degree for you.
Right.
Not you. But it's your life.
It's your life.
In 50 years, you're going to sit with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the legacy that you have, if that's what you want to have. Yeah. So what legacy do you want to have?
Exactly.
So
live your life.
Live your life. So if you just, like, my biggest hot tip is, if you have any type of creative urges, please tap into them. Please explore them. It is so freeing, liberating. You are probably healing parts of your inner child that you don't even know. You don't, like I said, you don't have to monetize it. It could be a hobby.
Right. And you could be healing somebody else. There's so many pieces of art, music, like painting, like sculptures that heal me so much. And if that person did not show up and do the thing for them, where, like, I would not be able to experience it. You know? So it's
that's
like...
deep. This stuff just really gets to me.
It gets me too, because it's like legit when you think about it.
Yeah.
We really, like, I feel like a lot of artists feel a lot of shame and a lot of fear of their work because they're comparing themselves to somebody else, or they feel like it's too, like, it's just comparison, it's fear, it's lack and everything, and it's like, no. Yeah. You can really do it, and just because, and the fact that we do so much, we're limitless.
Literally. Just like it's not impossible. Just do it.
And you don't know who you're gonna touch.
You don't know.
And I feel like for me, that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Who am I impacting?
Yeah.
I'm doing it for me, but also I'm showing up for somebody else who might not have had the courage to do what they wanted to do, and maybe that'll spark it, maybe not. Maybe they'll connect. I don't know.
And you could be a vessel for somebody else.
Exactly. I mean, that's all I ask God for me to be.
Like,
vessel.
You really could. Like, I know some people feel some type of way about that, but some people have these creative ideas, and then they might put them out there, and they might get, like, a small scale or a small reaction, and then another person that was inspired by them gets a big reaction. You should be honored at the fact that you were the vessel. Like, you were the magic. Mm-hmm. You, like, you, it's just like you had that magic in you, and you put it out there, and now someone's inspired to do it in their way. Mm-hmm. If they are malicious and facetious, it'll get to them. Right.
Yeah.
That will do its work later.
Right.
But for the most part, being a vessel, okay. I did what I had to do.
Whew.
I can go
in for the longest time
forever, but I feel like we gave some pretty good hot tips.
I think so too.
And I hope it all makes sense because we're just like bouncing everywhere.
Because our minds are just so expensive.
Exactly. This is the creativity talking. But yeah, I just want y'all to be great.
I just want
whoever
y'all to be great.
Is out there that considers himself a creative, go be great. All right. Well,
self-care.
Yeah, self-care.
My self-care
Woo.
is I am going to I'm going to take the day to be creative.
Ooh.
And I want to my self-care is I'm going to take a day to have a creative retreat. That's what I want to do.
I love that.
I want to create the space like I did before to have from like day to like morning to night to be doing creative things and allowing just to allowing myself to just be and do that. Because the last time I did that, I put together my book.
Oh.
So
I heard that.
That's my Black girl self-care. I don't know. I don't have a certain day. I have an idea, but yeah, I needed to get together because I keep saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write another book. When you're over here having imposter syndrome, feeling like you're not a writer when you've been writing since you were.
Hello, no, she's actually a writer.
Don't say actually like you're not. Don't do that. I don't like that. Don't talk to me like that.
Oh, in trouble again.
What's your Black girl self-care?
My Black girl self-care.
I said that like I'm your driver, not your chauffeur.
Right. I'm really, I'm going to San Diego this weekend, which is great, but I really want to check out that art gallery that I sent. So I feel like that's a future self-care. So I'll give y'all the update on me going to an art gallery and museum like a few episodes in. And for now, I just found my Apple Pencil for my iPad, and I really want to start designing some stuff again. I would try to challenge myself to like do like a design diary kind of thing of just designing something every single day. It could just be like clothes, random art, reconstructing. Like I really want to get back into reconstructing because I continuously buy clothes at the thrift store and I do not reconstruct them.
Okay.
So, or even then, like finding my thrifted find, like getting the thrifted finds, putting the look together, and just creating in that way. I think I definitely missed that. So I really want to challenge myself to do like a design type diary. So yeah.
Okay, we'll get an update with that, y'all. All right.
Yes,
cool.
I'll give y'all an update.
Okay. Well, I hope that was helpful.
Yes, I hope so too. I hope you guys had fun with us. And I hope I have a challenge.
Oh, you have a challenge.
I want you guys to do something creative for the week, for the weekend. Tap into it and you can share it with us. Send us a DM, send us an email at emailthecheckin@gmail.com. We want to see what kind of creative stuff you're getting into. Like, we're all for it, and I'll support it. I need all my heart and my soul fulfilled, so I want to see our listeners what creative stuff y'all getting into.
Right. I like that.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, like as we always say, I hope that you're checking in with yourself as you're checking in with us. And please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Yes.
And we will see you
ratings
another week.
See you next week.
Bye.